welcome to another exciting episode of
ZoeTv.
ZoeTv. And we got 2 weeks together under our belt. This is like old times, Kay.
You know what?
We've got a rhythm going.
It's becoming a routine.
We had a 3-year run, and then it got kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
With me sick, you sick. And then it's just been busy. Life is busy.
Life is busy, but good.
But for 2 weeks in a row, we've gotten to film together, which is
know.
amazing. And for 2 weeks in a row, we have unbelievable guests.
Yes.
Well, we always have guests, but then we got
unbelievable guests.
unbelievable guests,
Yes.
which we're going to get to.
Right.
We can't take too much time away from them because they
No.
could talk and talk and talk.
They could talk and talk and talk.
All right, Kay, what do we got going on in this next week?
Let's see. Well, we did the blood drive today.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
Hey,
was
how
good.
was that?
It was
I'm
full
surprised
house.
you're here on a Sunday.
You know, you're right about that. That was last week, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You know what? My mind.
Too much blood given away.
You know what? When you give away as much as I give,
Eh.
you're just.
But it went
depleted.
well.
Went well, and we're coming up on the end of the semester.
That's sad.
I can't believe it.
It goes so
It
fast.
goes so fast, and we had such a great turnout and great
Yes. The curriculum was awesome.
teachers and presenters.
The only thing I would say, and we've seen this happening over the last couple semesters, is so many of you participating because we're getting
Yes.
surveys and we're getting feedback, but doing it from the comfort of the house.
I know,
And that's the good thing about technology and the bad.
that
Because
is
I miss seeing that room packed, and I know the instructor misses it.
yes,
But we do, and we realize, you know what? The cameras are important.
well
And be able to do it at home, especially Providence Place, being able to participate, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So,
And wait, you know what's another big deal? I just like to point out.
Yeah.
My neighbor,
Mm.
who I love and adore, and I are doing a card making class
Oh.
the last day.
Ooh.
So if you know anybody who'd like to
Well,
do that,
Our special
They
guests
won't
today
wanna
are
miss
they should be teaching the class.
well, they should be participating for
They're
sure.
like the card gurus.
They are. Oh, they should come because they'll want to make cards.
They're very good at it. All right.
Okay.
End of the semester, yes, is coming.
Yes.
Last week, we had an amazing event in the auditorium last Thursday on assisted living and the
Yeah.
lifestyle within assisted living, memory care, and that transition from IL to AL. And we had a great attendance. We're going to do another one because we think that the topic is so important.
It's so
And
important.
it's so important for IL to understand that's not the edge of a cliff.
No,
to need that
especially
little bit
not
of help.
here.
Not here.
No.
So more to come on that, but those that were involved and came to that, thank you. And yeah, just busy. We're going into the hot months and it's busy.
I know. It's almost May.
Woo. All right. Well,
Okay.
we need to get to our guests.
Yes.
I mean, we don't have enough time as it is to talk about the impact of these two in this world beyond Glencroft.
I know.
But I'm going to let you introduce them because they're near and dear to your heart. You got them in the back pocket of all things you.
Yes, I do. I am happy to introduce
Mm.
Hal and Nancy Valora.
Thank you.
We're
The
glad to be
crowd
here.
goes wild. Okay. So,
Happy to
Hal
be here.
and Nancy, for those who don't know you out there, which probably is only the new people,
Mhm.
you are involved in community of faith. You go to our lectures. You work out with Steve.
Yes.
You are resident reps. You get to know everybody on campus. You lead Bible studies and a million more things. But tell us a little bit about you. For those who don't know, you've been here 12 years?
Oh, 11. That's
11, okay. And what brought you here and where did you come from when you moved here?
I'll let Nancy start because
Where did we come from?
Where'd you come from?
We were at, I can't think now. Anyway, we were down on Encanto Boulevard
Oh, okay.
and 71st Avenue.
Okay.
And we lived there for over 40 years.
Wow.
And we were looking for a place, and I came up here and I saw the place. And at that time, they had the apartment next to where the church office is now.
Okay.
That apartment was made up so that you could walk into it and look
Like
at
a
it.
model.
Oh,
Yeah,
a
like a
model.
model.
Okay.
And I went in and I walked around and I said, "Where do I sign?"
Oh,
It
that
was
quick.
just one of those things that I
Yeah.
just really felt the Lord was leading us there, and so that's where we started from.
And have you always lived in the same?
Yes,
Oh,
we
yes.
always did
93. Oh,
93 and Court 8, yes.
Yes, it's so
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
And the only reason that Nancy was by herself in that, I was a patient on the 4th floor of Providence Place because I had developed MRSA when I had my hip replaced and I had to get it redone. And I was up on the 4th floor for, well, from Labor Day of 2011 till probably the end of October.
Wow.
And the treatment I got and everything, and the people at the dining facility even came up to make sure that you're diabetic. Would you like this, this, and this? And they, every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they made specifically for Harold Valora. And I couldn't ask for anything better. And that, with Nancy's tour, Socorro took her around at that time. And she was ready to sign up. And I says, okay, well, let's get started. So I got back home and I had about 6 more weeks of antibiotics to get that MRSA stabilized. And after that, come December of 2011, we started to phase out to get to downsize. We had grandkids, we had kids, we had our family room, we had a big pool table, and we had a ping pong table on top of it. And we had all this stuff that this is, okay, you take what, Forrest, you go first. Nanette, Brian, Aaron, and Donovan. That's how they went. Then the grandkids.
My gosh.
And they all came and took this, and whatever didn't go, we'd send to either the Salvation Army or what was that other one that we support?
St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent, and there was where grandson Nicholas
Boys and
worked.
Girls Club.
Oh, Goodwill.
Goodwill, yes.
And they took the rest of the stuff, and we were ready to come, and we came, and boy, let me tell you, the first day I'm coming up in my power chair, and there's somebody at the door, one of the maintenance men, and I says, well, this is our new apartment. This is our first day here. Can I help? May I help you? He said, yeah, my name's Steve, and I'm here to change the air conditioning filter. And I says, you mean I don't have to get out of my chair and reach up and unscrew this? He says, nope. And same with light bulbs. We do all the light bulbs. We do that. And you just call us, let us know, and bam, we'll be here. And they were.
I love that.
And that satisfied. I mean, Nancy and I were just so happy we couldn't believe it. And we've been here ever since.
Right.
And the service, landscaping, the cleaning, you name it, everything goes so well. And we've had good meals at the Towers and the Bistro and the Henry's. And we've had good activities. Oh, so many activities. So many of our friends that ask about it are jealous because where they live, they don't have near the activities. They live inside of a big building. It's like a motel.
Yes.
And they're in their room and that's it.
No,
And
I know.
there's no movies, there's no bingo, there's no trivia, there's nothing at all on TV that they can do.
Yeah.
They don't even have the local television station like we do.
Yeah.
And I mean, that Glencroft, people say, well, I don't have Glencroft TV. Well, you're missing out.
Right.
Because Channel 2 has everything you need. Channel 4 has programs like this, and the Ross and Foss show, and Stan the Chap Chat.
Yep.
And I mean, there's so many things that are so interesting to us and informative. I mean, everything that we need to know is there. And we have I don't know, my word is fantabulous, media service people.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I mean, Gabe and Jason and Brian just do all they can to work and make sure everything is okay. And the FRC techs that we have here on campus, when we first got here and got set up with the TV, they were right there after our first call, and they came in and they hooked up the Glencroft TV for us. And I mean,
what else can you ask
what
for?
else can you ask for?
Wow.
So let's go, because I think one of the special things about Glencroft is that community feel. How everybody
yes.
looks out for
Family,
each other,
yes.
and it's a
Yes.
family. Talk about your court, because I think your court, everybody loves their court, but I think that you as kind of, I always think of the leaders of that little area, but you do look out for each other. And when
Yes.
somebody's having some medical issue,
Right.
you guys are almost the first to be first responders to
Right.
help security know when and where. And if somebody gets sick, I know for a fact, even last week, you were out Lysoling everything, making
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
you're protecting everybody.
Yeah.
But how is that dynamic? How do you love living in that environment?
Well, I know I think about if we were at our house yet,
Mm.
you know, we knew the people across the street, and that was basically all. We had a school cat a corner, and you know, everybody went to work, everybody did their thing, and we would be alone.
Right.
Where now we're just, you know, part of the family.
Yes,
Yeah.
a big family,
And
and
it-
you
and
guys
it's
do
really
a lot as a court.
Well, yeah,
Well,
we
yeah.
try. We were one of the first ones to start a Bible study,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, when
that's because our court has dwindled in the amount of people we have right now.
Right.
But
Hoping to change that.
yes,
but
Yes.
absolutely, yes.
I
Yeah,
bet you miss
but we have-
neighbors coming and going,
Yeah.
but Rick and Erica are taking care of that. They do a wonderful job
but they do.
getting people in and showing tours and everything.
We should just have them be the
Well,
commercial.
I agree, and we saw it in action a couple months ago. You guys were a part of our resident panel.
Yes.
That
Oh yeah. That,
prospective Sun City residents
Right.
got to come here from their peers, meaning you
Mhm.
guys, not just from our staff.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think it went
And
so
ask questions.
far.
Yeah, I
It's
think that was
you
good.
guys just telling the stories, and you had 6 or 7 others, and we moderated
Mhm.
it, but you guys got to tell your story, and I
Mhm.
think it resonated with the potentials because we had some move in
Sure.
from that exact session. So I think you're not alone in the fact that you think so highly of Glencroft.
Mhm.
right.
And when you compare to others or places that you could be living, because
Oh.
I know some residents, the grass might be greener, or you know, I'm thinking about making a move, and when you take a step back and you see everything you're given here and all the
Mhm.
opportunities,
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody can touch us.
I really don't think they
I think so,
can. I
yeah.
mean, I've been to a lot of places
I'm
because
sure
when
you
I was
have,
the
yes.
outreach coordinator, I went to most of them in the West
Mhm.
Valley, and even the East Valley. I can tell you, there is no activities like we
Mhm.
do.
No.
No
I
way.
think
No
of-
workout room,
I think
no
of-
university.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Delrina Davovich in court. She lived in court 7. She moved out, but then it was just entirely different.
Yeah.
And she moved back in before she passed
Right.
away.
Yep.
And I mean, it was just wonderful to see her and her puppy dog back again.
Yeah.
But she told me, she says, Hal, there's no place like Glencroft.
Right.
She says,
Mhm.
I made a bad decision, but she says, now I'm where I want to be, where I should be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a blessing when you hear that from people. And we had Cheryl Palovich, Pastor Ford, got us started in our Court 8 Life Group Bible Study.
Mhm.
And we've been going ever since.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have as many as 16, 17, but most of the time it's 12, 13, 11. But we have a good Bible study led by Julie Gerke,
Mhm.
who took care of her mother for years, and she now lives off campus. But it's wonderful that
Yeah.
we have the participation we have in Court 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we
That's
weren't
where I'd wanna
supposed to
live.
meet in the homes, you know,
Yeah.
because of the pandemic.
Right.
We were right there by the laundromat. We
Yeah.
would meet out there under
Outside.
the under
Yeah.
the,
Right. Right.
We
with
used to meet
masks
outside.
on. And yes, I remember. Well, my husband has said, I think we should move into Glencroft. I go, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Can work. It would be easy to get
The
to work.
commute would be very nice.
I could
Yeah.
save
Let-
on gas.
You guys talked about COVID just a second ago,
Mhm.
and I think all of our perspective is different on COVID and how we went through that. But take a few minutes and just walk us through COVID from your guys' perspective.
Mm-hmm.
well, we just were really careful about wearing our masks when we
Mhm.
needed to, or staying out of, you know, I don't want to say out of the way, but that's what we had to
Yes.
do. We had to stay away from people.
Yeah.
And so when it just happened that our neighbors came down with COVID this
Just
last week,
recently.
and our daughter had worked for Costco, you know, and so she had gotten us big cans of Lysol spray when we were having that, and so I went and grabbed one of those, and I just went over the mailboxes, you know, and the door handles, and I go out about once a day and spray them and try to keep that
Yeah.
bowl right there, you know.
Well, even with the flu and colds, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't
Sure.
be too careful anymore.
Yes.
So
And so,
Thank you.
that was one thing that I figured we could stay on that
Yeah.
Yes.
if possible.
Well, and I think you guys are lucky because you are a couple, and during COVID you had each other.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
whereas a lot of residents didn't have that
Right.
No.
resource of real tangible somebody to look at.
Right.
That was the hardest thing in this industry. You hear it
Right.
across the board nationally and globally that
Yeah.
seniors through
Mhm.
COVID, that became such a hardship.
Yes.
Is not having that real
Yeah.
FaceTime with. So you're lucky in that sense because you had
Mhm.
each other.
Yes.
But then coming out, I think that you guys are such a testament to getting through something big and then coming on the other side and always giving grace and glory to God. And you guys are the first to do that. And
Well,
I know us as staff, we always appreciate all your cards and all of your
Yes.
stuff.
You're
to us.
I don't know how you remember all that.
well, our daughter, when I first started this, she says, "Dad, what do you need to keep up with this?" And I says, "I would like to have an address book, but with slots so I can put birthday cards in, anniversary cards." And she went out and she got me one, and it's falling apart. But then when she saw that, and about Christmas time, she got me another book.
Mhm.
So, she's working with me. She has the same ministry in Tucson.
Mhm.
She does that with her. She has about 40 women in her Bible study,
Oh,
and she makes sure everyone has a birthday card or an anniversary
Yeah.
card or whatever they need on their day.
Right. Well, that's
And
special.
She-
It
It
is.
goes a long ways.
and then I get a lot of medications, of course, with my Agent Orange exposure, and I have this white box that she made, and it's a prescription box for Dad. And she has it, and I keep it. I keep all my prescriptions in there, and the old one I had, Nancy uses now for hers. So Nanette is very supportive of us. Of course, she's closest as far as coming back. Now Brian is busy with his family in Buckeye, and they're very active in their church.
Three
And Nanette
boys, yeah.
is in her church. Our son Donovan in his church, and our son Aaron in Bartlett, Memphis, Tennessee area. They're active in their church. As a matter of fact, didn't Aaron and his wife help sponsor a film they made?
Yeah.
Their
Mhm.
church.
At
And
their church.
so our 4 of our 5 kids are really involved in their church. Our oldest son, Forrest, he and his wife attend, but that's as far as it goes because they're both working.
Sure.
yeah.
So, but
And they moved, and
then
you
they
have
moved.
great kids. You
Yes.
do.
yeah. Our son played football at Trevor Brown High School and got a scholarship to Oklahoma. And not many kids can go from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, where he was born,
Right.
to the University of Oklahoma, and then to the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
So he's been an athlete. And
that is awesome.
Well, he comes from good genes because you can
Well-
tell with your size and stamina,
Yeah.
you're an athlete too.
I played a few sports.
We
I
love it.
was the shortest center our high school team ever had. I was 5'9", but I could out jump guys that were 6'5"
There
and
you go.
6'6". I just had strong legs, and I could position myself for rebounds better. But that's just bragging, and that's not necessary, right? What I want to talk about is the physical fitness of
Okay.
the performance center.
Yes, sir.
Mark started this wheelchair workouts.
Yes.
Fridays, 1:00. And if you miss, boy, you get the wrath of Mark, let me tell you. But anyway, he started to talk to me about the black box.
Yes.
And Nancy was getting the black box treatment. And I thought, why would I need that? And I talked to Nancy about the results she got. And I thought, okay, now before the black box, I couldn't turn my head to talk to you folks. My neck was so stiff from arthritis.
Yep.
That black box and the thumper. Whoa! But you know how it is, Steve. You look up,
Yep.
look down,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
I couldn't do that before.
I know.
And that black box and that thumper made a difference in my shoulders, my shoulder joints, my upper back, my neck.
Amazing.
It's amazing. And then Mark's with the weights that we do and everything, and he makes sure that my program is for me.
Right.
Yes.
It's not for it's not for
Yes.
anybody else. And Kenny Brown comes down the same time I do,
Yep.
and he has one for Kenny, and it's different,
Sure.
but it's for Kenny. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I'm so
That's-
glad you're talking about that because
Yes.
you know that was the goal of Zoe Life as a whole is
Yeah.
figuring out custom programs so everybody can
Right.
participate.
Mhm.
Right.
When it's a group big class, some people feel left out or it's too hard, I can't even try that.
Mhm.
But with these small group classes where it's customized, it's so important. And then like what you just talked about is getting some of the tech side of the black box to play
Mhm.
nice with you individually
Right.
that enhances what Mark's doing so they work together.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I think that compounded when you're starting to eat a little healthier, drink more water, which I
Oh.
know the two of you are doing.
Yes.
Yes.
It just keeps moving the needle on how well you feel.
Well, when I first started with Mark, I weighed 305 pounds. And I went to the doctor on Monday, last Monday, which was the 10th of, the 3rd,
Okay. Yeah.
the 3rd of April. And I weighed 268.
There you go. Look at that. Amazing.
That's awesome.
Well-
Very proud of you.
And I had
I
bought a
gained
whole
some of
bunch
it.
of trousers. They were size 52 in the waist. Well, when I put them on, and if I would have to go to the bathroom and I'd loosen my trousers on the belt, they
Down they
slipped
go.
all the way to the floor. So I went to Mary Jo, the alterations, and she took them all in. She would measure my waist, and so did Nancy, to 48. 4 inches.
That is amazing.
That is so
That's
good,
awesome.
Hal.
And
All right.
I feel good wearing those pants.
Yeah, you
I
should.
bet.
That's a lot of hard work. Okay, let's talk because
Okay.
we're running out of time. I want to hear
Oh.
about you
Okay.
on this box because
Yeah.
you got to, like he said, start
Yeah.
before
She
him.
did.
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
And you were the first in the family to try it.
Yeah.
But talk through what we worked on and what you thought.
Well, I was having problems right here in my back, in the back of my inside, and it didn't hurt me as much all the time. But like when I went to get into bed at night and different things turning in bed, it seemed to be bothering me more than during the day. And so I asked you about it, and he said, "Well, get your name on the list." And so we tried with that, and within a few treatments, I was doing much better. And then I had it on my shoulder a little bit. And matter of fact, I think I've graduated at this point right now from the black box because I've had enough treatments that I'm not bothered by
Oh,
the
that
pain anymore.
That's
But-
amazing.
And I think going back to look at when you started, because you were in physical therapy. You were
Yes.
signed
Yes.
up to work
Yes.
on that.
Yes, I was.
And we're making a little bit of strides, but it was kind of, I wouldn't want to say just spinning your wheels, but it
No.
was not seeing progression in
Sure.
that low back pain.
Mhm.
And I mean, you were hurting coming
Yeah.
in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I won't talk about the first time you tried to get on the table in there on a lot of different levels, but it was awkward and it was hard to move.
Right.
But you
Yeah.
got better quick.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wanted to he wished you had taken a picture of me
Ah.
because of
It's awkward to watch people get on that table
I
face
know.
down. It's
Yeah,
not pretty, but
it's-
we got there.
Her being my wife influenced me to go ahead and take that black box. And of course, you and Mark were very persistent. You don't give up. You
Yeah,
don't take
no,
no,
no.
for an answer. I don't think you guys have no in your vocabulary.
No, that would
Oh,
not
yes,
work
they
for us.
do. They
Oh,
said
good.
no to me.
Oh,
Well, you guys are spectacular in a lot of
You
different ways.
are.
I'm so glad that you're both feeling better,
oh yeah.
moving and involved,
Mhm.
because you've always been involved on so much of activities and everything on campus. But from a workout perspective, we didn't see a lot of you guys. You're always praying for us and a part of us, but to see you in the gym,
Yes.
you coming down there to get treatments
Going
and
from
being
pink to
able to
green.
see you progress in that physical pillar, it's been fun to see.
and you can
guys do
see
that.
the difference, really.
I can feel it.
Yeah, just in your overall
That's for
being.
sure.
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
tell when people feel better.
Yes.
Sure.
You're
Yes.
sleeping better too.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Now, because one thing we did have to harp on was your water intake. Because if you're on the box or you're working out with Mark and we make sure you are hydrated. We got to get
Yes.
you drinking water. So how is the water dynamic in the house right now?
Well, our daughter was here for a few days, and she's at me all the time. Mom, drink. Mom, drink. Do you need more water? Do you need some iced tea? Do you need-"
I know. That's what kids are.
And yeah, they
become your
really-
parents.
Yes, they do.
And she's finally getting it from her cousin Craig. Now I used to be that way too, but she'd say, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. Just let me alone. Well, you know, her husband for 65 years,
Right.
I just can't, you know, stop telling her what she needs to do. But she lets me know that, you know, don't keep bugging me.
Yeah, but she's doing it.
Yeah.
She's drinking that
Yeah, she's
water.
doing it now, but thanks to our daughter and Craig,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all keeping it after her. And
Wow.
even when the grandkids come from Buckeye, you know, hey, Grandma, can I get you a glass of water? How about this? And, you know, Grandma, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it takes
Three
a
boys.
village
It
to
takes
raise
a village.
grandparents.
And honestly, water, I mean, going into summer, it's even more important. But
Oh, yes.
we've seen so many people's pain levels decrease
Mhm.
just by hydrating.
Yes.
Right.
And getting that muscles, the much needed water. And we're dealing a lot with assisted living right now in pain, and they are dehydrated. We walk in there and I can just see it
Yeah.
on their
100%.
face. They're dehydrated.
And
Yeah.
it's helping my lower legs too, that I have the neuropathy. And
Yeah.
with all that water and doing
Yes.
it, it's just helping the blood flow back to my heart much better.
Awesome. Well, you two are amazing.
You are.
We
Thank
could go
you.
on and on
Thank
and
you.
on, and we
Well, thank
probably
you.
have to have them back because
Oh,
we
of
didn't
course
even
we
get
do.
into
Yes.
more of this Green Bay Packers and all of the Oklahoma and all of the
Wow.
amazing coaches this guy knows. But thank you guys for joining
we're
us.
very
We're
blessed.
glad. We're very excited about this program, and thank you so much for all you do for us.
Yes.
And if I can just talk to the people out there for a moment, if you have an opportunity, take advantage of the Performance Center and the Black Box. You'll never regret it. It may be a little bit inconvenient the first 1 or 2 times, but you're going to be blessed in the long run.
Ah, thank
Well,
you.
We appreciate that testimonial. That's as good as it gets.
Well,
We love you guys.
I love,
love
you
you
too.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.